What up? How's everybody doing? Welcome back to Spicy Takes. I don't know what week it is. We've been here so many times. You guys know the drill. Welcome back. If you're here for the first time, then welcome to the community. Great to have you. I know a lot of new people joined us after we did our Elytra campaign in DevNet. Saw a lot of new faces in the Discords when we did our AMA this week. That was amazing. Because so many new people are joining the community, we're going to take some opportunities to explain the value proposition, what we're building, who we're building it for, all of that great stuff. So you guys know what to be excited about. So today I want to talk to you guys about SpiceFlow. More broadly, talk about UX in crypto. The problems, but also the opportunities. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of good in the space, a lot of great things being built. I know prices are down. It's looking pretty gloomy out there. But if you're on the inside building products and seeing what other people are building, there's still a lot to be excited about. And a common theme that I have felt so deeply is that UX really needs to catch up to make DeFi usable. Despite all the amazing products that have been built, there's only been a handful that have been able to create UXs that are usable to the average person. So like Hyperliquid, looking at them, Pump.fun did it pretty well as well. Aave with their new app. I don't know if you guys have checked out the Aave app yesterday. I'm on the wait list right now. Super simple though. It's like a savings app, and you show up, you can deposit fiat to it. You can earn 6.3%, I think is their rate on that fiat, which is pretty awesome. Like if you tell most people they can make like a pretty, I guess not 100% guaranteed, nothing in life is, but pretty guaranteed rate at 6.3%. That resonates super well with people. So if you just make it easy enough where they can download and deposit directly into it and start using it that way, then I think that's where they're going to see a lot more traction. Not that Aave hasn't seen traction yet. So that's what I wanted to talk about today, is about the big apps, the ones that are succeeding, the UXs that are actually working. When I say UX, user experience, for all my non-tech bros out there, the user experiences that are actually being effective in bringing in users and keeping them around, even more importantly, because we know that in crypto, we've seen a lot of apps bring in users because they're able to offer incentives. People show up, but they haven't really created this, either value or user experience that keeps people around, even if the value proposition is kind of cool. So today we're going to talk about what sort of things bring people in, keep them around, and make an app usable. So we'll start with Hyperliquid, right? The experience with Hyperliquid is such that when I look up the website, I show up to it, I just see a deposit button in the top. This is something that a lot of apps miss, but is very simple, and it's the way that users are used to interacting with technology. If I show up to an app that is going to have me transacting on it, the expectation to users is I'm going to deposit into an account, right? I'm going to show up, I'm going to make an account, I'm going to deposit into it, and then I'm going to do whatever set of actions after. Whereas the norm right now in crypto is I'm going to have an account, right? My MetaMask, my wallet. I'm going to have assets in that account, and then I'm going to look for apps. I'm going to show up. I'm going to interact with the app using that external account, which is sort of a mental barrier that not a lot of users are used to. And it scares a lot of people off of DeFi, I think, because it means that a prerequisite for them to try any of these apps is that they have this wallet, they have these private keys, they do all this stuff, they get their money on chain, they bridge it to the right chain, right? With Hyperliquids, sure, I'm depositing from a wallet, but I'm depositing to a Hyperliquid account And I don't even have to have money on Hyper EVM first before I deposit to that account. I can have money on Arbitrum in their case, and I make a deposit. Great. Now I have money in my Hyperliquid account. And then I sign a session key. So I sign one transaction in my wallet that basically says, for any of the actions I'm going to take after signing this session key, you don't need my permission again on my actual external wallet to make that transaction. So what people love about this is you have money in your Hyperliquid account. You're trading leverage. Like, you want to be able to act quickly. I used to run into this all the time trying to trade on GMX, where like you see something and you're like, oh my God, my setup is coming in right now. Whatever, I didn't have an order in place yet. I need to go get into my setup. So I go to GMX and then I go to sign a transaction. I get my ledger out. I plug it in. I work through it. I sign it. It fails. I try again. Whatever. You don't have to worry about this stuff on Hyperliquid, which makes for a really awesome user experience, where I just say, oh, market buy or limit buy this price, this amount, boom, send, order is in. So that's something that Hyperliquid has done really well, and it's caused for most users to want to go there because they've created this, like, they call it a centralized exchange-like experience. Really what it is just like a Web2 app-like experience that existed even before centralized exchanges in crypto existed. And people respond super well to that. It's garnered a lot of success for Hyperliquid. Basically that, plus their ability to have deep liquidity, source deep liquidity for their tokens. That's not even just tokens, but that's their currency. That's their differentiator. So that's the first thing. Second thing is this has acted really favorably for Hyperliquid because you actually have your money in Hyperliquid. You could realize, okay, I have my money in Hyperliquid. Maybe I want to take it and do something else. You have to go back to Hyperliquid to withdraw that money, which actually gives them another opportunity to try to keep you in the app. This is something that happens subconsciously, right? I go back to Hyperliquid because I remember I have money there. And instead of withdrawing it, I realize, oh, wait, let me look up if this market is in Hyperliquid. Oh, it is. Okay, I'll just leave my money here and keep trading. So that's a way that they've been able to bring in capital and then have it stick. Yeah, I think that's a lot of the reason why people love Hyperliquid. If you look at Pump.fun now, they're trying to push people in the same direction. So you can show up with an external wallet on Pump.fun and you can, interact with their markets directly from your Phantom wallet or your backpack or whatever. But what they've done now is tried to push users into the same similar UX as Hyperliquid, where you show up, you create an account with Privy, your social login, and then you deposit to that Privy embedded wallet. And from there, you're getting like a fully gas abstracted Web2 experience. So they're kind of taking a page out of Hyperliquid's book and trying to go down the same path because they're also this massive consumer app, and that's worked out super well for them. And then finally, with the Aave app that I mentioned before, they're trying to take it even a step further and saying, like, okay, let's make it even simpler for users to onboard, even if they don't have crypto. They have fiat. They just want access to these benefits that we're able to create in DeFi. It's just become like a Web2 app. Ultimately, this is what I want to achieve with SpiceFlow. Every single app we integrate with has this account that users easily deposit into, and then from there, everything is gasless, abstracted. They never have to go to a third-party app to switch between your products. They never have to go to a third-party app to bridge to a new chain. So you're able to keep them inside your app and offer them anything that they want to do related to your products without them ever leaving your app to go to other things. For the end user, this is awesome because, Web2 users can now use these apps. So looking at something like Repo, which we're integrating with, it's like a very Web2 friendly app in theory, because you're talking about content creators posting things and earning for doing that. And then it's not very Web2 friendly in practice because they need to have repo, they need to be on base chain, all this stuff. So I think the end goal is kind of like with Aave, where we could just make that a Web2 feeling app, and then we can handle all the plumbing behind people coming in. And from there, do all the execution once they get their fiat into this embedded privy wallet. So yeah, that's the UX I think we can create, and kind of merge all of the benefits of Hyperliquid, Pump.fun, Aave, is all of the best things that are making those apps stand out versus their competitors. There's so many competitors to each of those apps. Is what we can offer as like a turnkey solution with Spiceflow. So an app without Spiceflow will sit on whatever chain it's on. To interact with it, you have to bridge to the chain that it's on. You have to buy the assets that app accepts. You have to have gas money set up on that destination chain. Then you connect your wallet. And then from there, each time you're interacting with it, you're like approving spending of USDC, let's say, and then using the app. And then next time you come back, you're going to approve some spending as well. And it's like each of these things is like an on-chain experience each time you come back to this app. Whereas we can make it like Hyperliquid. You come in once, you don't have to even be on the chain that the app is on. Once you're in, it's completely off-chain signatures that you're signing. And this is, bringing multi-chain, multi-app, multi-step processes into one signature that you can sign, which allows people that know nothing about DeFi to use these apps. So that's going to allow us as a sector to take all of the great things that we've built, like I said, and find that next set of users for those things. The crappy thing about this last bull cycle we had was that it was very driven by Bitcoin and not as much by altcoins. And we didn't see as much user growth as we did in other cycles. And I think that's because we've sort of maxed out the amount of users we can bring in who are willing to put up with all of the complexities of DeFi. And now we need to try to wrap things in a way where they're not that complex and the average person gets it, and we can provide value to that average person. So with Spiceflow, we hope to integrate into the front end of an app, take it from being this obscure thing that less than 1% of the world will ever understand how to use, and make it this thing that everyone can easily know how to use because it's the same as any other app that they would use outside of crypto. And yeah, that'll allow us to grow the user base. Those are my dreams. And I think we're doing pretty well. We're pretty close to it. So from the campaign last week, I think we had like 11,000 of you. A bunch of you guys provided feedback. Outcomes were pretty favorable for us. So I forget exactly what the number was, but I think 86% of people said they preferred using Elytra through Spiceflow rather than the old school setup. So I think we can get that number up to 95% or even more. There shouldn't be really a reason at the end of the day why the OG way of using an app would be better. And then, yeah, we basically start bringing these things into mainnet and bringing it to a larger audience of people. That's sort of the roadmap that we have carved ahead of us. So I'm glad for everyone that's just joined us and is embarking on this journey with us. I appreciate everyone that's given us their feedback so far, whether it's positive or negative. The positive is awesome because it lets us know that we're doing a good job, which always feels good. The negative, even better, because it helps guide the product that we're building and makes it so that we can actually build the best user experience possible. At the end of the day, if user experience is our currency, the thing that differentiates our product versus anybody else in the space, the best thing is getting true, honest feedback on if we're successfully delivering that, because it's hard to tell without user input. Like, this is really a taste thing, right? User experience is all just about how does it feel. So it's very important for us to engage with you guys and get a sense of how you're feeling about the user experience. And we look forward to having you continue to give us feedback in the Discord. And on the campaigns we run in the future, we're cooking up some ideas to make it fresh, keep things a little bit different, keep you guys on your toes with each campaign that we run. So definitely stay tuned for all that, and get in the Discord to stay up to date on all that stuff. The portal as well will allow you to earn some points and get early eligibility into the campaigns that we run, an early look at our tech. So I would encourage you guys to check that out as well. So before I let you guys go, just from the top, I'm going to give a brief summary on what SpiceFlow is, who's it for, and then we'll go on with our days. So SpiceFlow is not just a distribution integration. SpiceFlow is a solution for all of the UX problems that we see across DeFi. It's a turnkey solution that creates the UX benefits of all of the best and most successful apps that we're seeing in the space right now. What this means is that we can offer users a cross-chain account that can sit in the front end of your app through an embedded privy wallet, so users continue to custody their own assets. All they have to do is find a way to get funds into that account. We make it extremely easy by deploying on a bunch of different blockchains and then soon partnering up with Fiat on-ramps. Once money is in that account, Spicenet handles all of the execution needed to interact with the products on that DEX or dApp. So what that means is if the dApp's on a different chain and you deposit into the account on one chain, your assets will sit on the chain that you deposited on. And then when you actually go to take an action on that dApp, SpiceFlow is going to figure out how to do that for you. Even if you're on the native chain, let's say you don't have the right asset to deposit into this vault, you don't have gas money on that chain maybe, you create the transaction, Spicenet's going to buy the right asset for you using your assets and put it into the vault you want. You come on board with Fiat. The Fiat on-ramp lets you get stable coins into your Privy embedded wallet. And then once it's in that Privy embedded wallet, anything you touch on that platform is going to be handled by Spicenet. You don't have to handle any of the execution yourself on chain. And then finally, we'll have fully Web2 user-enabled apps, and we can take all of the great markets that we've built and bring them to the rest of the world. That's SpiceFlow. Without further ado, guys, thank you for coming today. I'm going to get back to work and continue to refine our user experience. Appreciate you all for coming, and until next time, stay spicy. Take care, guys.